What's the word? We are reporting live from Delaware County, Woodland, Pennsylvania. We are right outside of Chester. Behind us is the intersection of Fairview Road and McDade Boulevard. And we're going to take a tour through a couple different neighborhoods, and then we're gonna go out into Chester. So this is my first time doing a narrated tour, so if you guys like this kind of stuff, let me know in the comments. I'll keep doing these. So we are driving into right now the awkwardly placed apartment complex known as the Crossings at Elmwood. The Crossings at Elmwood, previously known as Lynn Lane. Now, I remember it as Lynn Lane from back in the 2000s and 90s, and from what I remember, basically just being a big drug spot. A lot of addicts, just a lot of drugs back here. From what I understand, it's still like that to an extent, but I think you have a mix of people. So they do accept housing vouchers. They also rent the apartments out. So the rent seemed kind of high though, kind of a little higher than I would pay, because the insides of the buildings are old too. So you can see the outsides are old, and the insides match the outsides. So. But yeah, you can see they don't manage the place with the trash like that. Yeah, bad management. And the place I was in there not that long, like a year or two ago or something. And I mean, it was the original hallways that they probably built with the building. It was like white drywall, but it was starting to turn yellow from all the smoke. As soon as you walk in there, all you can smell is cigarettes and weed. At least when I went in there. So you know what, matter of fact, let's see if we can go in. Yeah, we're gonna spin around real quick. Let's see if we can actually go in there. It's 7:30 a.m. by the way, so don't be surprised if we don't see any people outside. I just happen to be out and about, so I figured I had a little time to kill. So, alright, we'll spin back through here. So, and this is all part of Woodland. And Woodland is like a borough, I think, of Ridley Township. So it's a part of Ridley though. So the Woodland kids will go to Ridley High School. And Ridley Township, I mean, a lot of you guys already know, but Ridley Township is huge. And it's along Chester. It goes along Chester Pike and McDade Boulevard. Alright, so we're gonna spin back around. Let's see if we can get up in this joint. They got a bunch of doors. I just want to get one that I can park right in front of. I feel like walking around looking like a nut. Here we go. Alright, let's see what's going on. We might need a code, but let's try. Yeah, you need a code to get in there. I was gonna try to get a little recorded, but there was a guy walking by and it probably looked a little sketchy. Alright, we'll just keep it moving. There was a shooting back here about a year or two ago. There was a kid from this neighborhood from here that I would call him player one. And there was another guy, player two. Player one was busting player two's girlfriend's cheeks, as the youngsters may say. And, obviously player two wasn't very happy with that, so he came up here to confront the kid. Sounds like they got in kind of like an argument out in front of the complex. And player one was just like, whatever, he just walked away. Player two still felt some type of way. He had a gun on him, pulled it out, shot the kid in the back. Then he went on the run. Actually, that story was kind of crazy too, because he went on the run and he was running for a while, and he was like, he was spinning the marshals everywhere he went. Like he would be in one town, and then he'd call the marshals and he'd say, hey, all right, I'm going to turn myself in. I'm right here. And then he'd give him an address, or he'd give him like a business, and he was never there. So he was spinning the marshals for kind of a long time, it sounds like. I think he got him like 4 times or something like that. They were probably so pissed about that. I bet the judge hit him with even more charges. Alright, so as you can see, that neighborhood is put in the back of this parking lot. I always thought that was very strange, because it's not like anybody's driving all the way around the back to get in there. The only way to really access it is to drive through that parking lot. Weird drone. So we're on Fairview Road right now, headed southbound. You go north from here. Would that be south? Or no, it would be east, towards the Delaware River. So whatever direction that may be. And then behind, if we go straight back the other way, it'll end in Swarthmore at Chester Road. So up here on the corner, on the other side, you see the building with the little peak on there. That's Michael's. It's a well-known hoagie shop, and they got real good food. They got one of the best cheesesteaks probably in the whole county. In my opinion, I think their food is real good, especially the cheesesteaks. I feel like hoagies are like the same shit no matter where you go. It doesn't matter, as long as they don't use the real cheap meat. I mean, you're just putting lettuce and meat on there. How can you really fuck that up? Alright, so we're coming to the end of Woodland now. And we're going to cross over a little train track, and then that's going to turn into Crumlin. So actually, let's see if we can... There's a driving range that I used to go to on the left over here, and it's been abandoned for a long time. Like 10 years or more. But we used to come here, me and my friends used to come back here all the time. Especially summertime and stuff. Let's get a better view of it. Yeah, so that top, we would be able to set up on top. It was a top deck actually that had tees up there. The little stairway went up, and we'd bring beer up here. We'd bring a bottle or something and some juice to mix it, and we would just be up there chilling. It was a real good place for the community, because you don't really have stuff like this around here, you know? It's like, you don't have anything like this that's productive or that's positive. It was a good place to kind of get your mind cleared. I had one of my buddies was like a professional damn near, and he was a dope fiend real bad at that time. And he looked bad. He looked unhealthy as shit. And not athletic as far as I know. But man, we got to that driving range, and he was hitting balls literally out of the whole fucking, out over the fence, like out of the driving range. And he was hitting, there was a warehouse behind it, and he was hitting the warehouse, and you heard like windows breaking and shit like that. That was crazy. Will, I forget his last name. Alright, so this is all Crumlin back here. We're gonna spin around over here when we're gonna go back on the Fairview and take a right, and we're gonna have the Crumlin Apartments on the left, which is it's another little neighborhood that takes housing vouchers, and this one's bigger than Lynn Lane, so they got a bunch of different buildings. And then you got the streets off on the right that are houses. So we have the apartments coming up here. On the right, these are apartment buildings. So if anybody remembers the story about the lady who walked into Springfield Mall and started shooting people, it was like a mass shooting in Springfield Mall. She was from Crumlin. That's like the only famous person I'm aware of. We don't really have too many famous people that come out of Delco, period, though, so there's no shame on Crumlin. I don't know what's up with that, man. I don't know why we don't have anybody that's like in the media that's Repping Delaware County. We should get E back here. on some random shit. Back when we were in high school. Let's come back here and get E. Alright, so then it loops back around to Fairview. Take a right again. We'll go in through the apartments. Check out the apartments. Alright, so these are the apartments here. A lot of them take housing vouchers, and you can rent them too. I don't know how much they cost now, but my friend lived back here a long time back. This was back in the 2001, back then, and he rented his for $400 a month. And but I don't know what it is now. I'm sure it's way more than that, but. It was a whole apartment. It was a 1 or 2 bedroom, I forget. So you can see on the left, excuse me, they're replacing all the old buildings with those kind of like newer looking townhouses. That's the Delaware County Housing Authority is building these houses all over. So the Woodland projects, they knocked those down and replaced it with built houses that look similar to that. Fairgrounds in Chester. The Fairgrounds in Chester looks just like those, matter of fact. But it's a way bigger neighborhood though, I think. Fairgrounds used to be fucking bad. I don't know what it's like now. It looks a lot better, but I remember going through there back in the day. We had community service in the Fairgrounds, and they just dropped us off and left. The driver left. And there was people throwing trash at us, and we just couldn't do anything about it. Yeah, that was crazy. I was scared as shit. I ain't even going home. I was a kid, though, you know what I mean? I was probably like 15 or 14, I think, actually. The first time I got arrested for graffiti, and they gave me 400 hours of community service. 400 hours. It took forever to get that done. Like, you guys have no idea. And then as soon as I finished it, I got arrested swimming in like a pool, but it was in the middle of the night. We had to break in to get into the pool. And I guess somebody around there, one of the neighbors, called the cops on us for that. And they came up, and I don't know if this is appropriate. It's probably not, but whatever. When they came up, there was a female at the pool that had no shirt on. Why am I whispering? Like, did somebody overhear me? So there was a girl with me that had no shirt on when the police came up. And she just took one and threw it on real quick. It was like a button up or something to cover up as much as she could. And we just booked it. And everybody, you know what? I was the only one to get caught. Because everybody was about to run off to the right and go in one direction. And the cops were just following. I was like, you know what? I want to go off to the left. At least somebody's going to get away. There's one cop trying to chase us. We split up. But if we all stuck together, we all would have got caught. Alright, so now we're passing over into Eddystone. We're on Chester Pike. We take this straight into Chester. We take it the opposite direction to get into... I mean, you could take it all the way into Philly. It goes in the southwest. And then I guess the final stop at Chester Pike in Delaware County will be Darby. Yeah, it'll be Darby, and then Philly follows right after that. So this is the Walmart parking lot. Honestly, I don't even know why I turned in here. But we'll go through here, and we'll drive through like a few little streets over here in Eddystone too. Now I don't know what township Eddystone is. I would assume it's Ridley Township, but I've never heard anybody refer to Eddystone as a part of Ridley. So I'm curious, like that. They couldn't have their own high school because it's so small. So I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know in the comment if they go to Ridley High or where they go. I'm just curious. I never really knew too many people from Eddystone. I might just do you guys a favor real quick and clip this and just fast forward, because there's no point. There's no point in what we're doing right now. You know what? It might be too late. You guys are stuck. You guys are fucking hemmed up. So I just sipped my drink all on the microphone. That was kind of crazy. Now we're also right outside of Chester, so Eddystone is between Crumlin and Chester, and Chester Pike goes through all three. So everything you see over here on the left is all Eddystone. I'd say Eddystone is more of like a working class town, so you can have more working class people. Not to say there's none in Crumlin either. Crumlin's got a lot of working people too. Working class people, should I say. But yeah, Eddystone is like working class type of place. Yeah, I think there's a lot of bikers that are either from here or that like stay here or something. I see bikers around here a lot. I'm trying to think of something like outstanding to say about Eddystone, but I just can't think of anything. I'm just like stuck being quiet. And I know there's like, I can't think of it. There's like something about the history of Eddystone that's intriguing. I'm just drawing blanks right now. That happens to me every once in a while. I do my best. My boy actually lived in these apartments back in the day, but he's not from here, so I never hung out with people that was actually from here. Alright, we're looping back on the Chester Pike. We're gonna take this left and it's gonna go right into Chester. And if we go straight, it'll take us up to Woodland. It'll take us up to Woodland Projects, which is like a separate neighborhood from the one that we started in, but it's close. Also along McDade Boulevard. Alright, so as soon as we go over this little bridge, we're in Chester. You see the sign over there on the right. And the first neighborhood we go through when you come in here is Sun Village. I don't think the houses on the right are technically Sun Village. Sun Village is gonna be back here. We'll go back through there real quick. But Sun Village is a very notorious area of Chester. It was Sun Village, actually, as far as I can remember, was one of the first open air drug markets where they had heroin. Now, this was a long time ago, like 20 years ago or something like that. Yeah, it was a long time ago. Just keep in mind. Alright, and we're going to abruptly end this video, and we're going to carry on at a part 2. We'll be dropping it this week, so stay tuned. I appreciate all you guys for taking this ride with me. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, take care and be safe.